And we are back, and we're talking about the biggest event in wrestling history.
But before we get to that, let's take a little bit of time to talk about the man that is right behind you, Mr. Punk.
Yes. So this is the entire story to my knowledge. The reason of the altercation was because Jack Perry wanted to use real glass on the windshield with his match against Hook. CM Punk nixed the idea, and they used sugar glass, which is something that you usually that's the glass that breaks. And
right, that's
fine.
right. That's the glass that breaks in production,
right?
Like in movie production and stuff. Like that's the glass that they use.
It's sugar glass. It doesn't. It shatters to pieces. It doesn't have sharp edges. Like,
right.
It like disintegrates. Jack Perry during the match made a comment saying, "Real glass, my ass," obviously referring to Punk. We didn't know this at the time. After CM Punk's match, CM Punk got into Jack Perry's face and said, "You got a problem with me." Jack Perry said nothing, and CM Punk pushed Jack Perry. And then they started to fight. It was broken up fairly quickly.
But it was backstage, and a lot of people saw it.
Yes, a lot of people saw it. And then Punk went after Tony Khan directly and yelled at him away from people.
Right.
Oh, and CM Punk did say that, "I hate this place, I quit." Firing CM Punk was the 100% right thing to do.
Yep.
In this entire situation. Be like, well, why didn't they fire Jack Perry? Jack Perry did not start the physical part of the altercation.
He just made an offhanded comment.
He made an offhanded comment, and he was pissed off at Punk. That's not anything. I can call Peanut Gallery an asshole.
You do that. No.
But the thing is that as soon as I touch him, that's when it becomes a problem.
Right.
If Punk just left it at that and did not do anything, or maybe talk to him, that wouldn't have been a problem at all. And people are like, well, that's, you respect veterans, or that's not how they did it back then. That was back then. You don't do that now. It's not how this works anymore. There's a reason why Wrestlers Court died in the early 2000s.
Right.
That's why, I mean, you respect your vets. Yeah, that's fine. But Jack Perry didn't. Should he have? I don't know. I don't know why Punk had the power and authority to say no to that spot anyway.
Well, isn't he a producer? Or he was, I guess, maybe a producer as well.
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think that was actually a thing. I think he was just CM Punk, and Tony Khan is a huge CM Punk mark.
Oh, that's true.
So
anything that CM Punk says goes, right?
Yep.
In his world.
Yep.
Anyways, let's get to All In, the, quote, biggest event in wrestling history.
There was not 81,000 people in that building. Unless I can see from Wembley Stadium scanners that 81,000 scans happened, I will not believe it. Because why believe this show but still question WWE? It's either you question all of it or you question none of it.
Right.
You don't get to just pick and choose what you have an outrage about.
Right. I want to believe Wembley Stadium results when they actually come out.
Exactly.
I don't want to believe AEW. AEW is going to inflate the numbers.
I don't want to believe AEW. WrestleNomics is, there to help out because they're the business side of it, and for the most part, I do believe them. But given the circumstances on what this means, I would like to see the Wembley official statement.
Right.
But that's just me.
Anyways, let's move on. All In, what's going on?
All right, CM Punk Samoa Joe for the Real World's Champion. It was a fine match. They paced it okay for the most part, and it was a Pepsi plunge, which we haven't seen in many years, for CM Punk to beat Samoa Joe. And despite everything else that happened around it,
and we didn't know until after the show.
Right. I am going to give this an Orange Cassidy thumbs up. And this is a definite. Like, this is not being really nice or anything. I thought it was a good opener for the show. Also, the visual set and the pyro and stuff that they had looked cool. I will give them that. All right. Bullet Club Gold taking on Golden Elite with Hangman Page, Omega, and Kota Ibushi. You have Kenny Omega, and yet you do this. I would have rather had Kenny Omega and Jay White.
Yeah.
With maybe people at ringside. Come on, people. This is really not that challenging. You have such great talent here.
Right.
You could have done something a lot better than this. Like, seriously.
Right. This is thrown together sort of match.
Yep. It was a fine match, but why? Like,
right.
I just don't get why this was a thing. But it was a roll-up for Bullet Club Gold and Konosuke to win. That was a very interesting decision, but it is what it is. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to give it an Orange Cassidy thumbs up because they worked hard.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say. And how I make them majestic, I just told you.
Just don't do it.
So, FTR versus the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team Champions. Of the 3 matches that we've seen, this one was by far the weakest.
Oh, absolutely. Their other 2 matches were really much better.
Yep, but once again, you set the bar so high.
Right.
You have to follow it up, and especially given this, they felt like they just didn't care.
Right.
Now, did the situation with Cash Wheeler, did that play a role into what they could or could not do? What restrictions were placed on Cash Wheeler to be in this country? Keep in mind, his charges are serious.
Right. And he could have, for all we know, he could have been given a 24-hour temporary travel visa, which would mean you have to travel in the same day and then leave right after. So we don't know what the situation is.
Exactly. So it felt very weird. Like it felt, because that overlooming arrest was the thing that overshadowed pretty much of this match.
And then by this point in time, too, people were made aware of an altercation that took stage back place at AEW All In. And I feel like if you were not in the arena or anything, you probably would have already known that something happened involving CM Punk.
Right.
Well, actually, no. I think you said there was an incident, but
right. It was an incident. We did not know what the incident was until after the show was done. It took a couple of days for us to figure that out.
But again, this is over. The incident with Punk overshadowing everything.
It really did. All In is going to be known for that. Nothing about the matches, but the matches just didn't feel fine, like good.
Yeah.
It felt like a muggy, weird show. I didn't like this.
Anyways, moving on.
It was Shatter Machine. It was a good match, but I've seen better. I'm going to give it a full thumbs up because I did enjoy more than I didn't like.
Right.
And that's really like where it is. Stadium Stampede.
This one was weird.
I didn't hate this. I actually did like this, but once again, a match like this needs a little pizzazz. You gave us an incredible one, the original one.
Yeah.
The original Stadium Stampede, because it was so over the top. You had people running each other with golf carts. You had...
But again, this was during the pandemic era, and I think the Stadium Stampede should have stayed in the pandemic era.
Yeah, it should have. It's just not there.
It doesn't have the same feel. You're just now it's just like a false count or no disqualification. Who cares?
Right.
With like 10 people in the match, or however, was it 8 person, or I don't remember how many people.
Well,
were
it was.
in this match.
Keep in mind, it was supposed to be it was supposed to be 6-on-6. It was supposed to be 12, but Ray Phoenix had visa issues.
Okay, so then it was a 10-person match.
Yep.
I don't know. It was just kind of weird. It was weird.
Well, because the expectations are in such a different way. Because you had comedy, you had wackiness, you had a lot more
this
opportunity.
One was just bleh.
This felt like if WWE tried to do Stadium Stampede.
Right.
It felt very watered down to what I was expecting. Now, there was blood and pillar and plunder, and they had Trent Beretta's mom's vehicle there, so they had all the fun stuff. They had cookies thrown all over the place. So there was some fun stuff here that I did like, but it just wasn't that over-the-top wackiness that I like about I like Stadium Stampede. It's a cool concept, but you're right. One of those matches that should have stayed in the realm of the pandemic era, or you can do the Stadium Stampede in a different place and have a live stream. That's the only way this would work.
But I don't think people are going to pay hundreds of dollars to see that.
Exactly. They're not. It was an orange punch on Claudio for the win. It was fine. It was just the worst Stadium Stampede that I have seen. Anyway, Hikaru Shida, Dr. Britt Baker, Saraya, Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Champion. It was fine.
Yeah.
Like, what else do you want me to say? They had these random matches where Toni Storm, for no particular ass reason, got a bye. Like, everybody else had to compete, including Hikaru Shida, the defending champion.
Right.
But Toni Storm just gets a bye. Why?
Because she's a former champion? I don't fucking know.
But the actual champion had to wrestle.
Right.
Not only that, but she had to defend the champion before the match.
It was so dumb. This thrown together random ass match.
If you're going to do, once again, here's how you make this majestic again. It's so freaking easy. Either have the deception thing because you have two members of the Outcasts in this match, and that's sort of where it broke apart, where they have valid reasons to go for the belt, and don't have Dr. Britt Baker there. Why does she have to be in this match? She wasn't even the one that got pinned.
Right. She was just there.
Right. Saraya coming out with her family was cool. I like that. You know that it was a feel-good moment for Saraya, and that's fine.
But that's all it was.
It was nightcap for Saraya to win. Obviously, they are in England. People lost their minds, and obviously winning this championship in front of her family, her literal ass family. I thought that was cool. It was a cute thing.
Right. Well, yeah, there we go.
It gets an Orange Cassidy thumbs up, and that's being nice. So, yes.
It's a very mediocre show.
It really is. Christian Cage and Swerve Strickland taking on Darby Allin and Sting. Coffin match.
What is this match?
It's a coffin match.
I know, but
I did like Darby Allin Sting coming out to a Metallica song. That was cool. But other than that, what I've heard from Darby Allin after that makes me really say it was a meh. And guess what? It makes it worse because now Darby Allin is having literal spinal issues.
Right.
Like, why?
This is what happens. This is it.
Is this guy trying to get into a wheelchair?
Right.
Like, seriously. Sting is old. Christian, bless his heart, tried his best. Swerve Strickland was like the only good thing about this match because Swerve is very good. And Darby's just a crash test dummy. I don't understand the appeal.
I don't understand it either.
Like, I've never gotten it.
But anyways.
Anyway, it was a coffin drop for the win. Thumbs down. Actually, you know what? Thumbs down, fuck you.
Yeah, seriously, this is awful.
It wasn't awful. It wasn't 2 thumbs down, and I'm being really nice there, too. Chris Jericho and Will Ospreay. It was a fun match.
Mm-hmm.
But
why?
Right. Now, we had, like, the Don Callis thing, but Will Ospreay's not part of the Don Callis family. And so is Don Callis in 2 different rivalries?
I feel like this was a Don Callis, Chris Jericho problem. I think that someone within the family should have been a part of this
Konosuke
match.
Takeshita.
Right.
If you want Konosuke in the match, have it be Konosuke Takeshita.
But again, Will Ospreay, all the appeal because he's from New Japan and everyone loves it.
He's also from England, so he has all the appeal. Here's a better idea. I mean, this shit is really not all that hard. Chris Jericho, Konosuke. Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega for the weird European champion.
Right. Hello?
It takes me 2 seconds to figure that out.
I know. I'm pretty sure ChatGPT could book something better too, but
Chris Jericho's entrance was kind of cool though because he sang his own theme song to the ring.
This is
I did not like the Prince thing because that was annoying. It's like, yeah, you're in Wembley and you have to be Prince if you're singing there. Yeah, Chris Jericho, you ain't Prince, honey. Sorry, hate to tell you. It was a Stormbreaker for Will Ospreay to win. I'm gonna give it a full thumbs up, and this is also being very nice on that. So there you go.
All right, here we are. 6-person tag.
6-person tag. House of Black versus the Acclaimed.
House of Black doing their tribute to Bray. Pretty good.
I liked it. I liked their gear. The white and gold looked really, really cool. And yeah, it was fine. It was a nice P-break match before the main because this was penultimate.
Yep.
And it was a mic drop for the Acclaimed to win the titles. They made them pink, where you can scissor with the titles. So once again, you take it off of a good team that has great chemistry and we're making these championships mean something and put them on a bunch of jokes whose most popular days are far behind.
Yep. No one cares.
Exactly. If you were going to do this, have them beat them the first time around.
Right.
Why wait? Doesn't make sense.
I don't know. It's stupid. Anyways,
main event. Adam Cole, MJF for the AEW World Champion. I really like this match.
It was fine. It's just I don't get this rivalry or whatever you call it. I don't get it. Although this one was the most developed out of all the matches.
So here's
it's just it's kind of getting stale for me.
Already?
It's really getting stale.
Already?
Yeah.
That's funny. Because it was the best thing on AEW. So
yeah.
Here was the thing. They won the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions.
So they're going in
pre-show.
Right. They're going in as the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions.
And here's why I don't mind this, because Adam Cole's pursuit of this title was based out of the rivalry in the first place.
Right.
And they were forced to team up and realize that they have a lot more in common. I liked that. I thought it was actually a cool little thing. And actually, there was a lot of really good stuff here. I liked a lot of what was constructed, where there was a conflict with Roderick Strong. There was.
See, that one has more appeal to me than anything. See, I want to see.
Oh, that's going to happen.
Right.
That whole thing is going to happen, and especially because the Kingdom are there. The Kingdom want to go for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. You already have it there. Cool.
Right.
Great. I love it. And then maybe have Roderick Strong win the Ring of Honor World Champion, or Adam Cole win the Ring of Honor World Champion, and then he can face Roderick Strong for it.
Right. There's a lot of possibilities, but again, it's just okay. Now let's see this evolve, because now I'm just like, if this keeps going and spinning its wheels at the pace that it's doing, it's just it's not there for me.
I mean, it was the best match of the entire show by far.
Yep.
The ending absolutely sucked. It was an inside cradle out of nowhere for MJF to win. Are we joking? Are we really doing that?
Yeah.
Like, their first match had a time limit draw. I feel like it should have been like weird shenanigans where both of them pinned each other.
Right.
That would have been better than this.
But there we have it.
And there you go. That was All In. I'm going to give this match a full thumbs up. It was close on being a 2 thumbs up. It was close. And I'm going to give the show overall an Orange Cassidy thumbs up.
Yeah, it was
very
just,
close
it was
to a full.
Fine.
Yep.
It was there. Anyways.
It did not meet the expectations.
Yes, it did not.
So when we come back, we're talking about Payback.